This model must have 3 IFs and maybe the antenna on the back. Okay, there's my knobs. I thought they were labeled. I didn't label them. So I found my boost capacitors. One was a black upright that was changed. That's the .047. The .22 I just changed last night. Let me see. Okay, it's back here. I have a red hooked up to the boost side. So that capacitor, one side hooks up to the boost, and the other side hooks up to the one of the B plus lines. So I'm hooked up to the horizontal control grid for my VTVM and my scope. Red on the scope, yellow is on the vertical. So I also replaced all these. Okay, we got two .033s. This one is an old one. It tested good at 600 volts. This .047 and this .033, they're both 400 volt capacitors. It's supposed to be 600. And this thing here, I thought it was across the primary of the audio output. It's not. That's in the vertical oscillator. It's supposed to be a .0039, but I didn't. The best I could come up with was a .003. But that's been in there, and I had vertical since then. So I'll plug it in, hoping for 450 boost there. I think I'm okay to plug in. So again, back on this side, I got my plug. So the hot's on the far side, neutral is this way where I mark the neutral on the cabinet. The loop in the picture tube socket. So again, I put hot to my right and neutral to my left. It's marked, so I don't want to get shocks. So here's my boost, our standard B plus. No boost. Still no boost voltage. A little. Here she comes. Here she comes. We need 450. Let's see how much sound I get now.
I'm sorry if Johnny woke you up. I tried to keep him away, but I'm afraid it's not every day we have Chauncey Demon in our.
Has not given me any more sound. This thing here was out on my Pilot TV. It's across the AC and it blew up, so I'm keeping it. It's supposed to be a .15, I believe. Got a brown, black, orange, yellow, and a 400 volts, I think. It blew up. $390. It's better than nothing. I should see the milliamps that that's drawn, but I hate to keep taking that out of the socket. This part and where the power tube is, I want to get those deals they sell on eBay so you can keep the heat out of your circuit board, because that's really had heat problems, and also the damper back there. Maybe the video, it could maybe even do the vertical, but I didn't see too much damage to that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, 390 volts. Let's look at this. I didn't zero this up. Shoot. Okay, let me shut this thing off. I'll pause this while I zero up my meter, I guess. Yeah, And the hell with it, we'll pull this out. You don't want to do that when something's on. Zero up. Okay, I can smell that resistor now. Okay, back on. Hot, away from neutral. Very important. So I'll pull back to 50 volt scale. So we're getting almost 30 volts negative, right? Where's my 50 volt scale? Right here. So, could I have high voltage? I wonder. Let's see. Well, let's first. Noisy tube. Tube socket. Is that client? Did that client? Okay. I have my left one up and my right one down. What the hell's going on here? I have my scope grounded through that red one. Why? Oh. I know what I'm doing. Put these back up to 100 volts. I have these on ground. Okay. Retry. I got crappy switches here. You gotta jiggle them, hit them, smack them. So I was looking, like if this is getting, what's it called, clipping. Now my horizontal's jittery. Maybe my horizontal. Well, here's my noise. It looks flat on the tops. Doesn't look like that though. That's this. I sure smell that resistor, boy. Still doesn't look the same as what they have. Really? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Jeez. Okay. Well, it looks like that. I was looking at this one. This one. I should swab that one and see what it looks like. Okay, I'll go move on to vertical. Okay, I'm hooked up to here, and then I'm hooked up to one side of this 150 ohm on the vertical, so I should get that without the frequency change. So with the US of A made things, I think. Okay, on this switch, now I'm doing that with this switch. See, my switches are crappy, so you got to take that into consideration too. Okay, move over to vertical. Still have that. Look at that. Pull it up. That is crazy. That's I have to find out which one's vertical hold here. I have to go to the books for a moment. It's rolling, obviously. If you had that hooked up to a pitcher tube, that would probably be rolling really bad. Okay. One back, center one, brightness, horizontal, ion. I call it iron, ion. Horizontal hold, height, quieting, that must be something like automatic gain control or something. And this thing here, where is it? This thing here, this bracket, I figure is for the other model that has antenna on the back, I believe. And it probably has the extra IF too, so I got shortchanged on that one. So I'm gonna see if I can stabilize that. I think it's getting faster. I still have a vertical problem, so my vertical hold was one back. Okay. Yeah, she's not gonna stabilize. Let me see. So that's when the pitcher tube, I believe, winks at you a little bit. So this could be in the synchronizing maybe too. I don't know if I can figure that out. Whoops. 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 What the hell am I doing? Oh, I'm doing voltage. Ah, shit. I'm upside down here. I have to switch hands and trying to get stuff on one page here. There we go. So definitely unstable vertical. Now I did put two capacitors in here. The lowest one is 600 volts. That's 400. That's 400. And it's asked for 600, so I don't know. The plate voltage on that one tube, the oscillator tube, was only like 55 volts. So I figure if the DC volts is 55, we can handle 400 volt capacitor, no problem. But then you got the pulsation, so my tuning, my sound may have drifted. I got 400 volts of boost. It's supposed to be 4.5. I should look for high voltage. Okay. I need a screwdriver, I guess. I've never done this before, so right there. Let's see. No ground. Yeah, I'm gonna hook a ground to it. I lost my smaller Craftsman. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this up in here. It's hard for me to see it shaded and see what we get. Yeah, we ain't got no high voltage. We got boost. Okay, I'll look and I'm gonna pull that off right now. This has a little white from air leaking in. I should put a new tube in there. I have some. How about this cap? I should be able to pop this off and search for high voltage there. Let's try that one. I don't know where the heck I put that small screwdriver. Back on. I don't know where my Craftsman is. I like the square shaft. I feel safer with it. This is vertical, very unstable. Apparently it has something to do with my sound, that crackling. So let's see here. Oh, okay, we got it. It's bad tube. The filaments may not be lit. What do you think of that? Filaments. The filaments go through that 2.2 ohm, I think, that big red silver. It's at 2.2 ohms. I'll measure that. This resistor, it doesn't look very healthy at all. Let's pull this tube. It's a little warm. So it does have that whitish leakage. It did test good, but I got a lot of these things. I think it's the 1X4. They go probably bad every 3 months. I wish they'd put the octo size in there, the big bottle. I like the big bottle tubes better. These things, I have no belief in them. So I'll get a, I don't know how to find that. I should be able to find it on the flyback here. Let's see. Back on. That read 2.9 ohms, so that should be fine. I'll check the filaments here on the... I'm not going to check the filaments on that tube because it ain't worth it. It's smoky. I think I actually got one here. No, that's the big bottle. I had one on here. I used that. That's my jig I use on TVs. This ain't here is bad. This is for my RC8 TV. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a rubber hammer and smack those. It's the horizontal windings that are screwed up. So, I have to find that resistor here. So that one measured what I say 2.9. That's a 1 watt. I have to find that other one. Could be that. It could be using a point and a just a tie point. It's not that. I don't know. That's a 1 watt, so I'm getting up to 400 at times. So here's the capacitor. One side is to the B plus of the 135 volt side, and the other side is to the boost. 135 volt side is this one. So, vertical troubles. I bet you this thing's bad. So I'll need a 0.002. 0.002. I have 2,000 picofarads. I have 5,000 picofarads. 8.2K I should have. 8.2K I should have. That I gotta have for sure. But I've been using a lot of those things. I can build that. I will scope this. I will do that, but I don't understand scribble like that. This I can understand. I've seen that on a TV before. This here, obviously I can understand. But that's not giving you your pulses, I don't think. That's not giving you your triggering, I don't think. And you can, what does it say, short out, take it with pin 7 of a vertical multi-vibrator tube, B9A, shorted to ground. Otherwise it's this. So that could be that resistor. I'll have to look. That's pin number T. Pin number T and pin number unmarked. 3's before it, unmarked, then we have a T. Okay. Back on here. I'm going through all my vacuum tubes. It's a mess. It's a mess. See? I'll take this one. 1X2. Take that one. And we're empty boxes. A couple audio output tubes. Them things are little. Shoot. Okay, we got a brand new Westinghouse in there. I have to mount this to the back of this somehow when I put it away, because sure as hell, when I go to try it someday, I'm not going to have that hooked up. Okay, one more try on this, and that's the best I can do. I'll park it until I figure something out here. I have more vertical stuff to figure, so I have to... I'm at 23 minutes, and this will shut off soon it hits around 30. So I have it turned on. Safety, safety, safety. How do I do safety here? Well, this is disconnected at this time. I used it to measure that resistor. That resistor does read 2.9 ohms. Vertical, unstable. I'd love to see what that looks like on a picture tube. Okay, let's see what we can do. Wish I had my Craftsman, I really do. Okay. It's hard for me to see. I have night blindness. It makes it really hard to see in this area, so people think when you have night blindness, when you turn the lights on, you can see. Well, if you're looking at shaded areas, it ain't that great. So here we go. Once I spotted it. Okay. Nope, I seen an arc to one of the filaments. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. We got it. I learned a lesson from going under that cap when it's on. I see. I see. Let me see if I can block this. I thought I seen flashing around the high voltage cap. I'll have to make sure it's not corroded. So if I have a high voltage, I'll get my wand out and measure that. I don't like doing this. I don't want to destroy the flyback. Restart that. So we're getting. So we got crackling in the audio. I got this hooked up like this. I have it correctly. So we're just gonna try to swab something here and see what I get. I don't like this crazy hook on there. Uh-oh, it made my meter overload. I heard it. I'm going to keep this on here while I do this so I can look at it after. I didn't even touch it, just close to it. On the high voltage, well, this will be without capacitance because you don't have your picture tube for capacitance. I'm actually touching it now. Okay, I never had that before. Okay. Well, we know we have high voltage. I wish I had like a capacitor. I don't know if I could take one of those. Wait, they're not high enough. Probably need something like 10 picofarads at 30,000 working volts. Okay, that didn't pan out. I'll adjust the vertical hold again, see if I can stabilize that. It's definitely a vertical problem if it's drifting that fast. It's not a synchronizing, I don't think. Okay, here's vertical. I mean, that could be a timing issue, but something's drifting in the vertical section. It's got a warm-up problem. So what could it be? That multi-component thing. Right down. Right there. That thing. So, I'll go back to horizontal here. Well, let's see if I can do both. If I'm on chop, is it chop? Put it on chop. Vert mode. Internal. Sync from internal. Now I should be able to do both channels, I think. Put this on both. But I don't know about the frequency. I don't think this scope is fast enough to, well, that looks good. Okay, let's go to alter. Yeah, chop didn't work. Here's add. Okay, here's alter, the center one. And I'm seeking invert mode. Let me see if I can. What's going on with vertical? Well, that is vertical. Looks like horizontal. Wait a minute. No, that is horizontal. Well, here's vertical. Okay, let me go here and drop that. I was just seeing that part, I think. So here's vertical. What the hell? I was just watching horizontal. That was horizontal I was watching. Yellow is hooked to vertical. This is vertical. Or maybe I was on vertical. I think I was. I'll have to... I forget too easy. So if I go to channel 1... This ain't... My cell phone's going to be shutting off. Real quick here. But horizontal is kind of ippity too. It wasn't before. But I only showed this much of it before. See, this is kind of... Well, now I can hook it up to a picture tube. I still got to replace that. And this resistor gets really hot. So this is Order Beginner's Corner, November 1st, 2021. We still have a negative voltage of 50 volt scale down there, 30. It's supposed to be negative 25. I should try it with this and see what it says. Let me pause real quick. Okay, back on. I decided to hook this up. That's saying 21 kilohertz. I put this on. That didn't take any confusion out. If I put it on DC volts, it goes overload. So here's the frequency, 78, 75 in hertz. And I have 21 kilohertz. So I'm going to do some fiddling with that ringing coil now that I have, I think, decent capacitors, but those are Chinese, low of the line. I hear squealing.